Hey there, thanks for stopping by. We're going to finish off this series by going over the last set of legendary parts, and we're going to talk about the Void Watcher legendary parts. Let's jump right in. All right, so like usual, we're going to go quickly through the parts. We're going to go to the hall, check out the Incarnate, and then we'll get into some gameplay. So the mind part is called Prophecy, the body part is called Apocalypse, and the soul part is called Summoning. Let's go to the hall, check it out. We're looking for the Void Watcher portrait, so that's the Void Watcher portrait here. We're looking for that gold border and all green buttons, so there's that Incarnate. It is a balance affinity Incarnate, so you get a balance affinity based on having one of each affinity type for the part. For each part, so we've got the death affinity, we've got the void affinity on Apocalypse, and we've got the life affinity on Summoning. So because we have one of each affinities, that turns it into a balance affinity, which has no strong or weak hits against other affinities in the game. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Incarnate, and I never really kind of realized this, but they've got kind of a hollow gut there. Pretty cool. It makes sense for coming out of the void and stuff like that. Again, just got that double scythe there and kind of that Egyptian feel to it and style to it. Looks, again, just always blown away by the art and the models in the game. So let's go ahead and just jump right into the gameplay. So the first skill we're going to go over is called Prophecy. It's the mind part for the legendary Void Watchers. Let's go ahead and read it. Create one zombie at the edge of your presence in each cardinal direction. You and the zombies gain giant for 2 turns. So 2 parts to this skill. We'll go over the first part here. You can see the 4 spaces that are highlighted where the zombies are actually going to be created. Again, 1 in each of the cardinal directions, north, south, east, west, on the edge of your presence. And we've got a presence stat of 3 here. And then we're going to go ahead and get a giant buff on the second part of the ability, and we'll talk about giant when it actually gets cast and buffed on this Incarnate. So let's go ahead and use it. So there we go. We've got the 4 ally zombies coming in, so that's really cool. And the giant buff, you have 1 additional range and 25% additional max HP. So each of these zombies get additional HP or max HP. The interesting thing here, though, is that I don't see the buff on that one, but I do see it on every other one. So that's a little bit of a bug. We'll go ahead and give that feedback to the developers and make sure they see that. But it is on every other one, so that's working, looks like pretty well for the most part. Let's go ahead and check out the next skill. All right, the second skill that we're going to look at is called Summoning. It's the soul part. It is attack target enemy and create a zombie in front of you. Pull all of your zombies 1 space towards you. So again, 2-part skill, and you can see that the attack is going to be based on the range of this Incarnate. Our range is 4, but remember we do have that giant buff of a increase of 1 range. So it's actually effectively 5, and you can actually see that here with all the highlighted skills here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. So you can see it is definitely based on the range, especially with that buff there. And then the second part here is going to be pull all of your zombies 1 space towards you. So what we're expecting is that we're going to attack this enemy Incarnate, and then all of these zombies are going to go ahead and come 1 space towards me. And I'm also going to be summoning a zombie right in front of me. So that's going to be right next to the enemy Incarnate. And that's kind of important because of the next skill that we're going to use. So let's go ahead and use this skill first, and then we'll take a look at the next one. So there was that attack, there was the summon of the zombie, and there's the pull 1 space for each of the zombies. So I get them brought in closer. All right, let's move on to the last skill. All right, so all of my zombies actually just took a turn. And by them taking a turn, they walked closer to the enemy Incarnate, so that's why they're a little bit closer or out of order from what we last saw. But what we're going to use is we're going to use this body part called Apocalypse. And let's go ahead and read it. Destroy all of your zombies. They deal damage relative to their current HP and blind enemies in area 2 of them for 1 turn. So this enemy is very low, but we've seen blind in the past where blind means that they can't target anything. So again, pretty powerful skill. So we won't see that debuff being placed here, but I've tested it before and it works. But what this is going to do is any space within 2 of each of these zombies are going to be attacked. So you're effectively creating kind of a large area of effect attack, but based on the zombie positions. And given that they're high HP, they're going to be doing the max damage that they can possibly do. We are definitely going to go kill this enemy Incarnate. But what it's going to do is going to get rid of all of our zombies because it's going to blow them up and do damage to that enemy. So let's go ahead and use it, and we'll talk about it right afterwards. Boom. All of them are gone. Kill that enemy Incarnate. Now that skill it's going to do huge damage if you can actually sync everything up really well together. I know it's one thing that Animo has been playing with. He does have feedback that it's it could be a little bit better. The green bars that you saw on the zombies show like the decay meter. So once that goes all the way to 0, the zombies go away. So you have very limited time to set all of these combinations up and actually get max damage out of it. I think he's already provided feedback to the developers about how this could possibly be improved. But if you get everything put together, it's a crazy amount of damage that you can do in that space. So it's a pretty cool ability. It shows you that the Void Watcher is really dependent on zombies. Maybe not dependent, but it's one of their primary attributes in the game is that they do summon these zombies, and the zombies do damage. They have their own turn meter and stuff like that. So great minions to have, great skill to have. I think Apocalypse is really strong in the very specific environments and scenarios, but could be really weak in its current form based on how everything needs to come together. So there we go. That was all the Void Watcher legendary parts. Like I was mentioning, they could be really powerful given the right situation and scenarios that you're in, but they could also be really weak given I think a majority of the scenarios that you're going to be in. I think this is one of those areas that as we start playing the game and go through the alpha a bit more and get more people testing these parts, I think there'll be some tweaks to these as we go along. But it's still a really interesting class overall. Pretty fun to play. I don't have as much stick time on the Void Watcher as Animo does, but he's given it rave reviews. Happy to collaborate with him and get some more information. I actually got off a call with him just before this, just to get some tips and tricks on the Void Watcher. So that was really awesome. Appreciate that, Animo. I know he's setting up his own YouTube. So if you're watching this and he's got his YouTube set up, go give him a follow as well. If you like the video, if you found it informative and you want to see more of it, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It would help me out a great deal. And if you've got comments, what do you think of the parts? Do you think this could be really strong, really weak? If you're playing the alpha, let me know below. Definitely get back to you as soon as I can. Appreciate you sticking around and watching. As always, I greatly appreciate the support that I've already gotten and continue to get. And again, hope you enjoy, and we'll see you in the next one.